Hello, I'm Derick, and I'd like to tell you about one instructive case of pollution from my own watershed. I live in the Calleguas Watershed, which is in Southern California and generally a chaparral ecosystem. We don't get a lot of rain, and with the water that we do get is managed carefully and properly most of the time. However, there was one pollution issue that started to get out of hand. This is a map right here of the watershed. There's a lot of town and mountain area, as you can see, but there's also some important agriculture. As many as 20% of the strawberries in the world are grown right here in California. It's big business, but it is reliant on good water quality. One pollutant that is becoming an issue is salt, as unfortunately strawberries, one of the prime crops, as well as flowers and other things, are very sensitive to salinity in their water. In addition, some of the native fish and plants that living in along the river suffered due to the high salt concentrations and the stress it put on their environments. Unfortunately, there are, and were, especially a while ago, a number of sources for this salt. One of them was dirty water softening in personal homes and businesses in the several large communities that make up our watershed. In addition, there are several dirty and inefficient water treatment facilities that were part of the issue. Well, they both were probably about 50% each, as I've read. Water softening, as you can see in this picture, exchanges salts, but those salts in old and dirty water softeners are generally injected into the water supply. One thing that has been done nowadays to make it less of an issue is that water softeners that are dirty and exchange salts into the water supply in that fashion are now banned from new construction. Effectively, that means that no more of them are going to come about. However, in order to eliminate the number of ones that are currently an issue, the county has offered incentives, because that's one thing that people will generally go for, is incentives, to remove current dirty ones and replace them with cleaner, non-polluting, or less polluting ones. In addition, the big wastewater treatment plants all along the river, and those ones are getting retrofits and other, how shall I say, modifications to reduce their environmental impact, as well as the impact on the usable water quality. Fundamentally, this became an issue in the first place due to poor demographic planning. When Conejo Valley, Simi Valley, and all the areas around here that make up the watershed started out, they were just tiny little communities, like farms, sheep, like a few tiny little towns. But nowadays, as I'm sure you know, Southern California is a great place to live, and lots of people live here, way more than was expected. And so the scale of household pollution just got really out of hand. So I think that's the lesson that needs to be taken from this, is that people in the future need to plan for the future on environment and how demographics and usage patterns might change in order that we're not facing an issue that's big and expensive to fix. Because it could be. I mean, in the long run, if we lose species that are native and unique, that's not going to come, they're not going to come back. That's forever. Similarly, economic damage from destroyed fields or crippled industries hurts people for many years. So, overall, maintaining our environment is something that we all need to think about for the future. It affects everyone.